welcome to the new session of Bio World. We have understood the action of genes. What do you mean by the action of genes? Yes, how the gene expresses. So we have discussed that genes control the character of an organism, whether it is an external or internal feature. All the features in an organism is under the control of genes. And how the genes are produced inside the cell, that we have discussed with the help of a flow chart and illustration under the heading action of genes. So here I am recollecting the points once again for you. The DNA produces a bit of RNA. It is known as messenger RNA. This messenger RNA comes out of the nucleus and they move to the cell organelle called ribosome. There the ribosome have transfer RNA who collects the required amino acids for the genetic code which is synthesized by the DNA. Then with the help of the ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA, the final product, that is gene, is synthesized or processed. So who carry the message or who carry the particular code, that is messenger RNA. And with the help of transfer RNA and ribosomal RNA, it arranges the molecules. Which molecule? Amino acid in a particular sequence so that it can express a definite character or a specific character. So character is also known as trait. Character is also known as trait. So all the traits in an organism is controlled by the genes. Is it clear? So dear students, today we are moving into the next part of the topic, that is chromosome in humans. As you know, the chromosome number is definite and specific for an organism. In human beings, there are 46 number of chromosomes. So the total number of chromosomes in human is 46. We can divide the chromosomes into two sets based on their function. They are autosomes as well as sex chromosomes.
Chromosomes are thread-like molecules that carry hereditary information for everything. They are made up of protein and one molecule of DNA which contains an organism's genetic instructions passed down from parents. In humans, animals and plants, most chromosomes are arranged in pairs within the nucleus of a cell. Chromosomes in humans. There are 46 chromosomes in human beings. As you know, chromosome number is specific for each organism. So, how many chromosomes present in man? Altogether 46 chromosomes. These chromosomes can be categorized into two: autosomes and sex chromosome. Autosomes are also known as somatic chromosome. Autosomes are also known as somatic chromosome. This autosome is a non-gender chromosome which governs the body functions, whereas sex chromosome is related to sexual characters in an organism. So, how many autosomes are there? 44, and sex chromosome 2 in number. So, 44 plus 2 combined together to give the 46, that is the total number of chromosome. Now coming to the sex chromosome, it is of two types, X and Y. This is known as karyotype, and this is a test to identify and evaluate the size, shape and number of chromosomes in a sample of body cell. Extra or missing chromosome or abnormal position of chromosome pieces can cause problems with a person's growth, development and body function. So a karyotype is an individual's collection of chromosomes. The term also refers to a laboratory technique that produces an image of an individual's chromosome. The karyotype is usually used to look for abnormal numbers or structure of chromosome. So here you can see chromosome number 1 to 22 pairs, and they are seen as pairs depending on the difference in shape, structure and length. They are arranged in such a manner so that the human chromosomes or karyotype is illustrated. Then the last chromosome, that is sex chromosome, the smallest one is Y, that you can see at the end of the picture. Chromosomes in man. Each species has a definite number of chromosomes. There are 46 chromosomes in human beings. Of these, 44 are autosomes or somatic chromosomes and 2 are sex chromosomes. So 44 plus 2 gives 46, that is 23 pairs. If it is a male, the arrangement is 44 plus XY, and the genotype of female is 44 plus XX. So I repeat, each species has definite number of chromosomes. There are 46 chromosomes in human beings. Of these, 44 are autosomes and 2 are sex chromosomes. So 44 plus 2 gives the total number 46, that is 23 pairs. The genotype of male is 44 plus XY and the genotype of female is 44 plus XX. Now let us see chromosomes and the related diseases. Disorders of gene in a typical chromosome result in chromosomal diseases. Chromosomal abnormalities can be numerical or structural. Some examples: sickle cell anemia. It is due to disorder of gene in chromosome number 11. Another example is Alzheimer's. It is due to disorder of gene in chromosome number 14. Melanoma or the skin cancer is due to disorder of gene in chromosome number 9. So in this way, there are many chromosomal abnormalities among human population. Some examples are sickle cell anemia, Alzheimer's and melanoma. So what do you mean by chromosomal diseases? Disease or disorder in a gene which is related to a particular chromosome results in chromosomal diseases. It may be, the abnormality may be due to numerical or structural changes. It may be due to addition or deletion of chromosomes too. Examples are sickle cell anemia, disorder of gene in chromosome number 11, Alzheimer's, chromosome number 14, and melanoma or skin cancer is related to abnormality in chromosome number 9. Now let's moving to the next topic, genetic variation. So what do you mean by variation? Difference, isn't it? So characters which are different from their parents are known as variation. So the main reason for variations are crossing over, fertilization and mutation. So which are the three reasons for variation? Crossing over, fertilization and mutation. Crossing over. During the initial phase of meiosis, chromosomes pair and exchange their parts. This process is called crossing over of chromosome. So meiosis, as you know, it's a type of cell division, takes place in gametes, reproductive cell. During that time, what happens? The chromosomes pair and exchange their parts, and the process is known as crossing over. This causes a difference in distribution of genes, which results in variation. So when these chromosomes are transferred to the next generation, it causes the expression of new characters in offspring. So what is crossing over? During the initial phase of meiosis, chromosomes pair and exchange their parts. This process is called crossing over of chromosomes. This causes a difference in distribution of genes. So when these chromosomes are transferred to the next generation, it causes the expression of new characters in offsprings. So let's see the crossing over with the help of an illustration. So here you can see the two chromosomes, one from the mother and other from the father. These are the two chromosomes contributed by each of the parent during reproduction. In the second stage, you can see that the chromosomes are brought close together. So these chromosomes come close together and they start to exchange, or pairing takes place. Here you can see the process crossing over, where the genes get exchanged. As a result, the offsprings get the new characters, which will be the combination of both the parents. The next reason for variation is fertilization. The chromosomes of parents reach the offsprings through gametes. Which are the gametes? The ovum as well as the sperm. The chromosomes of parents reach the offsprings through gametes. When the gametes undergo fusion, the combination of allele changes. This causes the expression of characteristics in offsprings that are different from parents. We simply call it as variation. Thus, fertilization causes variation in the next generation. So let's see the process with the help of an illustration. So what is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gametes. So ovum is the female gamete, whereas the sperm is the male gamete. So sperm fuse with ovum. Here you can see the fusion process. As a result, combination of allele changes. This causes the expression of characteristics in offsprings that are different from parents. So how the variation possible? By the combination of the two gametes. Next one is mutation. Mutation is sudden heritable changes. So a sudden heritable change in the genetic constitution of an organism is called mutation. So what is the peculiarity? The changes are sudden as well as heritable. That means transferred from one generation to next. This may occur due to defects in duplication of DNA or certain chemicals or radiation. So which are the reason for mutation? Duplication of DNA, that means doubling of DNA, changing the coding or encrypting the codes, then effect or exposure to certain chemicals or radiations like UV radiations, X-rays, etc. Chemicals in the sense we use a lot of chemicals nowadays, then chemicals in plastics, chemicals present in the air, water and the food items, various cosmetic items may cause slight changes in the cells in our body. Mutations bring about changes in genes which can be transmitted over generations and thus leading to variations in characters. So, what do you mean by mutation? A sudden heritable change in the genetic constitution of an organism. And what are the reasons for mutation? Duplication of DNA, certain chemicals, radiations, etc. And what is the significance of mutation? It causes changes in genes, that means variation that transfer to next generation. So, mutations have great relevance in evolution process. Sex determination in man. So, as we have discussed earlier, human beings have 46 chromosomes. The genotype of female is 44 plus XX, whereas genotype of male is 44 plus XY. So, which are the gametes of female which take part in sex determination? They are X and X. And the gametes in male, the chromosomes in male which have a key role in sex determination are X and Y. What happens when they combine together? It will result as given in the table. So, the X of the female combines with the X of the male to produce the female child. Similarly, in the second box also you can see the X of the female combines with the X of the male to produce a baby girl. In the next box you can see the X of the mother combines with the Y of the father to form the baby boy. Similarly, in the last box also, X chromosome of the mother combines with the Y chromosome of the father to form the baby boy. So, the ratio is 1:1. So, 50% is the chance of baby boy and 50% chance for baby girl. So, the ratio is equal. That is why when we take the whole human population, the ratio will be always 1:1. So, the ratio of the male and female when we take the entire human population, it is more or less 1:1. So, who determine the sex of the child? It is the Y chromosome of the father. Very, very important. So, which chromosome of which individual determine the sex of the offspring? The Y chromosome in the father determines the sex of the offspring. Human races. There are mainly 4 primary races in the world: Caucasoid, Negroid, Mongoloid and Australoid. So, here you can see the different human races: Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid and Australoid. They have slight changes. Here also you can see the different races: Caucasoid, the Africoids, Mongoloids, Americans and Australoid. So, different races we can find in different geographical areas. So, these are the Mongoloids, the Koreans, Taiwans, Chinese, Japanese, all those are belong to Mongoloids. Then Africoids, the typical Negroes, they have more melanin and you can see the texture of their hair which is entirely different from the other races. So, why is it so even if all are human? So, that is known as adaptation. So the process which enables organisms to adjust their environment in order to ensure survival. So that is known as adaptation. So the difference in skin color, the hair, texture of hair, all may be as a result of adaptation. One example is melanin, a pigment protein, imparts color to the skin. The rise or fall of the production of melanin is due to difference in function of alleles of genes responsible for skin color. This is the reason for color difference of human skin. So it is not the racial difference which makes the skin color dark or light. This is simply an adaptation to live under the sun. Races among mankind are only cultural. Biologically, all men are of the same race. Studies in genetics become meaningful only when one attains an awareness to consider all men equal without any racial discrimination. So, adaptation is the process which enables organisms to adjust their environment in order to ensure survival. It is an evolutionary process. Humans have an ability to adapt biologically to our environment.
So today what we have discussed? Yes, chromosomes in human beings, genetic variation and its reason. Under that heading, we have discussed the crossing over, fertilization and mutation. And the last topic we have discussed today is adaptation. So based on the climatic condition, the geographical features, etc., the pattern of the trait of a person differ. But even if they show slight differences, all humans belong to the same race. All humans have same genetic makeup. So here I am winding up. Thank you.